Alright, we're going. Hello and welcome to the Buff Up Show. This is episode 4 and it feels like Groundhog Day. Aaron, welcome to the PC Gaming Show in association with the Next Gen Gaming Blog. Aaron Sullivan is my co-host today. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir, and I believe this is episode 7.
It's episode 4. It doesn't matter if we record it 10 times, it's still episode 4. I'm your host, Aryel Abrahami. Very quickly, Aaron, how's your 2 weeks in PC gaming been?
Been whoring Blade of Soul. It's fucking amazing. Yeah, the alpha is going on at the moment. Close Beta 2 in Korea. Some people are hosting private servers and managed to get on one and play around and flirt with the mechanics, and it's beautiful, and the way the animation system works with the combat system is great, and I'm hoping this is the direction MMORPGs are heading in the future.
Good stuff. So that's over in Asia, so it's going to be like 3 years until we see it in the West as a full release, right?
Or just throw 5 at it, man. It's fine. 5 years.
Okay, cool. Amazing stuff there. Going to kick off with a PC gaming topic today. Where do you keep your save files? Well, obviously, you keep your save files wherever they're saved to by default. And it seems that different games save them to different places. And there's an article on rockpapershotgun.com saying basically, why can't you just keep them in my documents folder? Some of them are in the directory drive where you've installed. Obviously, some of them are in Steam if you're playing Steam games. Aaron, do you ever find yourself searching for save files?
On occasion, when I'm trying to get rid of the game and it's still lurking around my system, purely because save files are all over the place. So this can only be a good idea. And I think he got comments from a few developers asking where he would like us to put our their save data. And yeah, so if you get onto the site and petition, maybe it will go through.
Maybe it will indeed. Some other news in PC gaming is the Alienware X51. It is a more of a budget PC gaming machine because it starts at like $450, ranges from $450, $650 to £950. Normally an Alienware desktop PC is at least £1,000 for the minimum spec. So does this thing fill a hole? Is it a good piece of kit?
I think it fills a hole for people who are afraid of PCs. Those guys who think a graphics card fans your room or something, you know. For the rest of us, I think it's just an overpriced, glorified, pretty box that you maybe can put your Gundam figures on or something. Yeah, the whole thing is overpriced, and it comes with a hefty dose of Alienware tax. You coined that phrase.
Yeah, well, it is a bit overpriced. You have to remember, whenever you buy a gaming PC or any PC as a complete package, you're always going to be paying a bit of a premium for them to put all the parts together for you, and you know they guarantee that the parts are going to work together and so on. But this thing's got an i7 processor, 8GB of RAM, and it's got an NVIDIA GTX 555 OEM graphics card. Now the graphics card is a little bit gimped. That's the best graphics card, by the way. There are lesser ones. That's the one you get with the £950 package. And we've heard things like it can run Battlefield 3 on full settings at full resolution, but at 30 frames a second. So it doesn't live up to our NVIDIA 580s and NVIDIA 590s and Radeon 6990s, but it's solid enough and it's a good entry level. And I suppose there was a hole in their product line, wasn't there?
I guess there was, but it'd be interesting to see how well it sells. And it is pretty much a closed box, so there's no upgrading. It's really Alienware's version of a console. So if you get it, you're stuck with it. But I'd advise against it and just go and maybe if you've got a friend that can help you build your own PC for a fraction of the price, you'll be better for it.
Yeah, well, what is it with Alienware and Razer trying to consoleize PC gaming? Come on, let us be free. Let us hang loose.
I want to be free.
Indeed.
Sorry.
Yeah, this thing doesn't come with a monitor. It comes with a keyboard, a basic keyboard and mouse. But you got to get your own monitor, so that's another 150, or depending on which monitor you want to get with that. We recently built Charles Lasser a gaming PC, including a gaming keyboard, mouse, and monitor, all for like $950. We cheaped out a bit because we used an AMD GPU and processor, but it's still a pretty powerful system. So you know, if you can get a friend or you can do it yourself to build your own machine, build it. That's what we recommend. But
Definitely.
yeah, it's good that these products exist for PC gaming. Anywho, we shall get onto another topic. One that was posted today. It's Rayman Origins is coming to the PC. Now, this is a very console experience. They even say to play the multiplayer, you should play with controllers. This is still good news, though. We want to see this game on the PC, right?
Yeah, for people who don't own consoles and they're just purely PC gamers, it's nothing but a good thing. I don't think it will add anything to the experience. I'm pretty sure the console version runs at a solid frame rate and whatnot. Maybe it might look a little bit sharper, but yeah, it's one of the best platformers of this generation, and you should definitely give it a try.
Yeah, Ubisoft usually release their PC games a little bit later. We should be thankful that we're getting the PC version, I guess. And I know I was listening to the PC Gamer podcast a few weeks ago, and they were saying, yeah, I really wish this game was on PC, and now it is. So, you know, I know most PC gamers do have a console because consoles are really, really cheap now. But, you know, if you want to play it on PC, you want it as part of your Steam collection, then so be it. You can now play it on Steam. Another topic is BlizzCon to skip 2012. The annual Blizzard convention will not take place this year, probably because there's no big announcement. Plus, the fact that they're working on 3 games with Diablo 3, StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, and the World of Warcraft expansion, Mists of Pandaria. Yeah, Panda love. This is probably the first time they haven't got a big announcement, isn't it?
Yeah, probably is. Usually they have something big to show us, but not this year. Well, I would presume they don't have anything to show us this year. But yeah, I'm happy with them to skip. If they're going to focus their efforts on those 3 games and make them as awesome as possible, we can only benefit in the long run. So yeah, I'm sure they'll come back strong in 2013, and you'll all have amazing new characters to cosplay as.
Yeah, BlizzCon is not just 2 days; it takes a lot of planning, and they normally have developer sessions where they question them about games in development. And if those games are nearing end of development, and we've just had 2 BlizzCons where we've just completely, you know, rinsed those games of all the knowledge that the developers have to offer on that, then, you know, perhaps instead of throwing out a weak 2012 BlizzCon, just don't throw it out at all and send out a cracking 2013. And that moves on to our next topic, which is Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is we thought it was coming in Q1, and that's not Q1 of 2012, and that is in danger of not happening now because they're changing the core systems. We thought this was maybe coming February, March, April. Not the case.
Not the case at all. It seems they are taking out key features and reworking their stat system, and even taking out a class, from what I hear. And what other developer would be brave enough to make that decision this late into the life cycle? Generally, if that happens, the game gets scrapped. But hopefully, Diablo 3 is still going. And you know what? I know a lot of people are probably upset that they're going to have to wait a bit longer. But if the game is brilliant at the end, nobody can argue, really, can they?
Indeed. Just touching on that, we want the best game possible, don't we? So I think we're going to get the best game possible. You know, not to throw a dig at Square Enix, but that they recently had a couple of games like Final Fantasy 13 and I think it was 14. You know, they sort of released them when they weren't ready, and they've ruined their reputation now. So it's better to not ruin your reputation and deliver, don't you think?
Definitely.
All right, good stuff. Now moving to another topic, a topic which we don't normally touch on, is racing games. Racing games and the PC is something we don't always talk about. But I was watching the game trailers, Racing 2012 preview of racing games, and a few games that I'm interested in weren't really previewed there. And we often hear games like Forza are the best racing game ever made, and people tend to ignore the PC racing scene. We've got games such as iRacing, R-Factor, and Project Cars. We're going to kick it off with Project Cars. This game looks amazing, doesn't it?
It does, and I feel like because of specifically in terms of like Project Cars, they don't have the funding to like promote themselves as massively as something like Forza, which is well established, and so it kind of gets looked over. But like the tech behind this game is just like, it's crazy, and it looks gorgeous, and hopefully they'll find somebody to publish it in the end, and we'll all enjoy it.
Well, they're sort of self-publishing it at the moment, because you can go in there and you can actually put some money down and become part of the development team and give some feedback on their forums, and you get to play monthly builds on the PC. It is actually being released cross-platform, but all the footage so far has been of the PC, because the PC version looks so good, and they're continuing their development there, and so it's a really ballsy thing to do. They couldn't get backing for this, so they were kind of, well, you know, we'll generate some backing because we'll show people what we can do, and it's looking fantastic. Another game which I know you play, which is very PC centric, a little bit old now, is iRacing. It's this sort of subscription-based, persistent online racing game where you have leagues and you have a license system and you get points on your license for driving badly. So they've solved the online problem of racing that you always see on consoles of bad drivers, haven't they?
They have, and this is definitely where most of the racing fanatics go for their fix kind of thing, because there's proper tournaments, there's proper leagues. I think it gets televised on TV in America at some point, and it definitely gets streamed on their channel, and it's like if you sat down on the weekend and watched an F1 race, it's literally like that. They've got like dedicated commentators, and yeah, it's an amazing experience, and if you haven't tried it yet, give it a try. I know the subscription model might scare you off a little bit, but it's definitely worth the money.
Yeah, indeed it is. So that's a game that's very much developer driven, that they bring out new cars and they spend months getting the physics 100%, well, almost as close as possible, 100% on each car, and you can then go and buy those cars. A game which doesn't have a subscription fee and is heavily mod based, driven by the community, is R Factor. And the polar opposite to that is, yes, R Factor. So, and R Factor 2 is coming out. It's in beta at the moment. It's in a paid beta at the moment, and they're trying to get the modding community to check it out and see if it's any good, as it were, and because they're the ones driving it. I mean, would you be interested in R Factor because you don't have to pay that subscription fee?
Well, before I got into iRacing, I actually investigated, and it seemed like the fans of R Factor were having like a little fan war with iRacing, and it was kind of like weighing up the pros and cons. And obviously with a game like iRacing, because you pay a subscription, they refund all that back into the actual game development, and they spend a shitload of time, actually like months and months, getting a specific track or car down specifically. Whereas R Factor was definitely pushed more by the community, and they gave them a core game, and I think there was a few updates, but the majority of the content was provided by the fans. It'd be interesting to see if the next game follows suit, but going from the trailer, like, it looks absolutely manic. Like the physics on the tires alone is just like, it's a crazy thing.
Yeah, and iRacing was recently updated, but the latest R Factor here, 2.0, is going to be better. It looks better graphically. So yeah, as long as the racing style is there, then I don't know. Unless if you don't want to commit yourself 100% to a racing game, then R Factor is probably the one to go for, because you haven't got that fee over your head. So I don't know. Speaking of fees, Star Wars: The Old Republic, the fee for that came in the first month is up. I know you paid for it. Have you been playing it lately?
I have not, but not because I think the game's awful or anything like that. Just haven't had time. Didn't even realize the money had been taken out of my account until like a day ago, and I was like, whoa, where's that money gone? I had to like figure out what I've been paying and whatnot. But yeah.
All right, so you have I logged on yesterday after 10 days of not playing it, and I tried out the new patch. Did some of my story stuff, and the thing that pleased me most was the bracket for the PvP. I'm level 43, so I went in and there were no level 50s there, and it was like so great just to go in there and fight against people either equal to you or slightly less than you, because at level 20 you can really own a level 20, so they're probably feeling still a bit hard done by, but the gap from 50 down to any other level was so huge when they had the gear. I just feel it's really balanced itself out now.
You still come across your fair amount of 49s. I saw a shitload of 49s down there, and obviously the gap's not as big, because obviously level 50 they get all their what's the stat they use?
Expertise.
They get their expertise, and that kind of reduces all your damage against them on top of them being a higher level.
Yeah.
But it's still a bit, if you're level 20 and you see a level 49, in most cases you're going to lose that little skirmish.
Indeed, indeed. But 2012 is going to be a huge year for MMOs. TERA release date was announced. It's May 3rd in Europe, May 1st in the USA, and we're going to get a beta very, very soon, and we're definitely going to be in the beta for that, and we're going to be providing content for you regarding TERA on this YouTube channel and on the Next Gen Gaming blog. Yeah, this week we got the Castanic race trailer. I mean, this game looks amazing, doesn't it?
It does, and like coming off like playing Blade and Soul, which is the first action RPG MMORPG I've actually played. I'm hoping that TERA can implement its system just as well. But the big thing for me about TERA is still the political system. The idea that every guild master can like become a king of his city, and then that affords him like the ability to like raise the mob count or respawn in your area, or lower prices from the shops for regents or whatever you want to buy from them. It's a good like player-driven experience, and I'm hoping they can get it right.
Player-driven content obviously is something that's missing from games like World of Warcraft, Rift, and Star Wars: The Old Republic. They're sort of in that theme park mode where the developer really have to push the content out for you to experience extra stuff. Whereas Terra is going to be a bit more like EVE Online, where it's going to be players are going to be able to run things on the servers, as it were, and that might be the thing that keeps you coming back every night to play.
How awesome is it going to be to like dominate PvP and just like force people to obey you by just being the best, most badass PvPer out there? Or even if you're like, you like the whole political aspect of just like voting yourself in. I think they're integrating like Twitter and Facebook stuff in there, so you can like promote yourself out in the real world to try and get elected to be the king of your city or any particular city you might want to go to.
It's going to be really interesting. We might see some like social network personalities and MMO personalities, find themselves in that role because they have a lot of followers. But it's something to watch out for, and it's something fresh. I feel in this world of samey MMOs. That's the word I'm going to use, samey. Guild Wars 2 news. It's the first beta phase has finished. Closed beta phase has finished. There's going to be a press beta in February, which is the second closed beta phase, I think. And then it's going to expand in March and April and open up to the public. I mean, you've played a bit of Guild Wars 2. Where does Guild Wars 2 stand in the pecking order of all the MMOs we've just spoke about?
Yeah, as we were speaking about before, like it seems to be running that tightrope between current MMOs and the future action MMOs that I'm hoping it will go in that direction anyway. But obviously they've improved on Guild Wars 1 and they've added the whole story elements. So now you're going to feel like you're part of this world instead of you just being one of the 25 guys in that raid. And then, of course, they're removing the whole Holy Trinity kind of tank, healer, DPS kind of vibe. So you don't have to have a specific dynamic to go into their raids. You can just go with whatever you've got. So if everybody in your team, well, they said that you won't be able to take it to extreme. So, but basically, if like 2 out of your 3 friends decide they want a DPS and only one of them wants a tank, you can apparently complete their dungeons that way as long as you're good at what you do, which is an interesting approach.
I really need to get hands on with this to find out exactly how this works. But each class is going to, in its own right, will have, as long as the player is skillful enough, as long as the group is skillful enough, it doesn't matter what composition that group is. Now, they said that obviously some compositions are going to be slightly better than others for certain situations, but it's more about skill. And this game isn't completely action-based, but there is a lot of action-orientated mechanics integrated into Guild Wars 2. And I think Guild Wars 2, out of everything, is the all-rounder. It's got the story. It's got some interesting combat. It's got these big boss fights. It's going to have the world versus world versus world PvP, so that's going to be interesting. And it looks great as well, obviously. And there's no subscription fee, so all these other games are going to be a drain on your resource, and you've got to justify paying the $8.99 a month for them. Whereas this game is like, right, I'm going to pay my £30 to £40, and this is my game, and that's it.
Which is an interesting approach because obviously we've got people like BioWare, and obviously you pay a subscription and they're bang on the content. We've been getting patches regularly. It'd be interesting how they're going to go about their content production, considering nobody's paying a subscription fee.
Indeed, indeed. Well, we'll see. Maybe they'll bring out expansions more readily. So instead of, most MMOs have to bring out major content patches to keep players interested, to keep the subscriptions rolling. Maybe their major content patch will be more like an expansion, and you have to pay maybe £15 on top. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. There are lots of reports saying that subscription MMOs are out of the window now. Because
I don't know about that. We'll see.
We'll see. Also, having subscription-based MMOs makes you feel like you have to commit to that one MMO because you're paying money for each month. I know, people that play two at a time generally commit to one more than the other. But we'll see how it goes. Guild Wars 2 can certainly be the bit on the side because it's cheap. Your cheap bit on the side. I'm sure that's not how they want to be advertised. But yeah. Okay.
Options are never bad.
It's never bad. They can be my cheap bit on the side anytime. Alright, another game that I have been playing this week is 8 Realms. It's a free-to-play, browser-based MMO, and the thing that actually
it's been giving you wood.
It's been giving me wood. I've been coming in the morning and collecting my wood from the wood shop. I don't know what it's called in this game. Anyway, it's a resource management game where you build armies and overtake tiles, and it's massively multiplayer because you can raid other people's tiles that they're on. You can capture a resource and then you can claim it as yours, and then someone can come and attack you. But it's a social game, so there's no skill-based combat. So you sort of build your army up, and the battles are simulated, and you get a battle report. It runs in HTML5, so there's no port blocking. I know some games on Facebook are blocked at your work PC. I have been playing this game 100% on my work PC. I only used it on my gaming desktop at home because I wanted to record a video for this feature, and the feature's on the Next Gen Gaming blog, a little preview there. Basically, this game is has captured me a bit. The sense of progression, the dopamine drip in my head, slowly dripping, is making me want to play this game. I come in the morning and I log onto my work PC and I log onto 8 Realms and I check my buildings. I set off my new buildings. Sometimes they take 3 hours, 5 hours. I leave it to run. I come back at lunchtime and I build the next thing. It's all very visual. It looks like Age of Empires Online a little bit. It's all cutesy, and I don't know. It's cool. Certainly, I wouldn't be playing it if it was eating into my normal gaming time. And it's free to play. There's a purchase model where you can buy gems and stuff, and you can buy consumables to quicken the experience. And they've actually put some quests in there which are time-based to try and pressure you into buying these gems, basically, so you can get stuff done quicker. But so yeah, I don't know. Aaron, would you be interested in this?
Generally, I'm not interested in social gaming. It's a part of gaming I'm firmly against. But this actually looks interesting. Like, it's got that, as you said, cutesy graphical style that reminds me of Age of Empires, and it looks gorgeous. And yeah, it's something that I could possibly do if I had spare time. The whole the whole buying gems thing, I'm not sure how you use your gems, but like the prices that were attached to some of those purchases were a bit crazy, mate.
Let me give you an example. Like 10 gems will buy you 1 construction slot, so you can build an extra building.
Okay.
Like 35 gems will give you 3 construction slots.
Okay, so I saw, like, on the video, which I'm sure people will have seen by the time this comes out, I saw like 99 quid for like 1 purchase. I'm not sure if I misread.
For 1,700 gems. And that would last you a while, but I don't know. People love. Seriously, these games make money. It's like Farmville. This is Farmville, basically, but with more of a combat sort of style to it.
It's the man's Farmville.
It is the man's Farmville. And I know people that have spent money on Farmville because I don't know. They just like that sense of progression and they want to progress quicker. But you don't have to
from a normal game.
You can play the whole game without the gems. So
yeah, cool.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Remember, NGB, the nextgengamingblog.com for all your latest gaming news. We also have a general gaming podcast there if you are into your consoles or if you have friends that are into consoles. That is just an audio podcast. It's released on a Monday. Loads of cool video features going on there at the moment. Looking at sneak peeks at some games. Twitter, you can get us at official_NGB. You can contact me at Aryel Abrahami, and you can contact my lovely co-host at AJR Sullivan. And unless you have anything else to say, Aaron, we're going to wrap that up for episode 4.
I want to say I love you. I'm not sure if the internet allows that, but I'm going to say it anyway.
All right, internet decide. Comment below. Is that all right to say? No, seriously, give us feedback on the show. You can comment on YouTube. You can comment on the Next Gen Gaming blog post. Remember, we deliver a podcast every other week, and we always use video content. So it's a feast for your eyes and your ears. But thanks for watching episode 4. I really hope this recorded. And we hope to see you next time.